You're listening to Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
My personal belief is that there is very compelling evidence that we may not be alone.
There has been and is an existing presence, an ET presence. It's not going to make a difference. It's not going to change reality.
I believe, as do the other folks that were on the flight, that when we visually saw it, that it was something not from this world.
Goof On Radio.
You were either in or you were either out, brother.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Goof On Radio.
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
You're listening to Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
Rich Giordano. Rich Giordano? Mr. Giordano coming at you live on Goof On Radio. That's right, Goof On Radio is live tonight, Sunday night. It's December the 16th. How you guys doing? Welcome to the live stream of Goof On Radio on YouTube. I am your lovely host, Rich Giordano. I can't wait. Christmas is right around the corner. Santa's coming over, I think. It's going to be a good one. I don't know what you guys are up to. Whether you celebrate it, I don't know. But I don't like this happy holidays. Just say Merry Christmas. You know you love it. Happy holidays. Ugh. I'm a Merry Christmas type of guy. And I don't care. I live for UFOs and aliens. And if Santa Claus wants to join, he can come down that chimney and meet us in the big old chair. Sit up for 3. We've got milk and cookies. We've got UFOs. We've got little tiny aliens with big old heads. Oh, I love me a big-eyed, big-head alien. I wish I could play that song. It was a one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater. One-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater. We wear short shorts, flying purple people eater. Sure look strange to me. One eye. Remember that? And we'd sit there snapping our fingers. Yeah. I know I was. Oh, let me turn on the cam. Forget about it. Oh, wrong one. That's okay. You don't care. Oh, I was doing the one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater. One-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater. We wear short shorts. I always thought that was weird, right? Because back then, I think in that time, wearing shorts was like really sexy for women. It was. And they used to Nair. Nair came out. Remember, it would take your hair right off your legs. No razor blades. Forget it. No cuts. This is a miracle. What else can I burn off my body? Right? That's what that shit does. You ever put too much of it on? Well, I was a bodybuilder. I had no choice. You know, I wonder if they bodybuild. You ever wonder about that? Bodybuilding aliens? That'd be kind of cool. See an alien, but he's jacked like a kangaroo. You ever see those jacked up kangaroos on the internet? Look them up. They are a trip. Saw it on the Joe Rogan show. It looked like a bodybuilder in a kangaroo outfit, man. It was kind of weird. Yeah, it was jacked. He had the vein, that big thick vein in the left bicep, and forearms were freaking veiny. Oh yeah, he was jacked. You get kicked by that guy, forget about it. He thought Blue Balls was bad. Oh, he already started off the show. It's only 4 minutes old. He's already saying balls on the show. What kind of show is this? It's a good show. It's a good time. Relax. Guys worry about everything. You're like, oh, don't say it that way. It don't sound professional. I'm tired of professionalism. I don't think it has its place in society. Cops have to be professional, right? Cops, firemen, doctors. Why do I got to be professional on the radio? Can't we just talk for a little bit? You know what I mean? Relax. I mean, it's not rocket science, and I know you want it to be. That's the problem with a lot of people in ufology when they listen to me. They're like, it doesn't really talk about much. It's all kind of fluff. Yes and no. I can't disagree. I am not that guy if you want a super technical ufology show. There are things that I do get technical about, the basics, the things you need to know. How to ghost hunt with the right camera, UFO hunt with the right recording equipment. That's where I come in. I do all the other stuff that they don't know because they're too busy on the computer. They're too busy reading. I'm out there doing the hard work, the labor. They do the numbers. Look, everybody has their place. Not everybody needs to do the same thing. I'm serious, 100% serious about ufology and the paranormal in general, not just ufology. Ufology's my love. Okay, that's always going to be first. Everything else is the rest. I don't want you to think we're here poking fun at people because we don't. I don't. I mean, I do. But that's not all I do. It's not like Eddie Murphy used to say, all he does is curse. All you do. And then he would be like, yeah, I go, how you doing? F you, mofo. Have a good night. Have a good night. Like that was his show. He'd curse. And then he'd say, I'd manage to slip in a few jokes here and there. Like, that's what I'm doing. I'm slipping in the funny, the weird, the things that people won't talk about. Haven't you figured it out? Hey, I'm as smart as anybody. Actually, I think I'm smarter than most people. Just being honest. I talk to the public every day. I think I'm in the top tier. I could be a doctor, Dr. Dick. I would be Dr. Dick. And Dr. Dick would take care of all the weird things that came into the hospital. 7-inch blade through your ear? I got to see this guy. Bring him on in. Right? I do the stuff you don't want to do. And you know why? I'll tell you why. It's easy to sit at home. You think I just come on here and talk crap and make jokes. And it's not all that. It's part of it. I think because nobody else talks like me maybe or does a paranormal show this way, they think it's not serious. It is serious. 110% serious, man. If that's even possible, it's not. I hate it when people do it. I just did it. Demerit. We're going to start a demerit program for stupidity. That was stupid of me to say 110%. I get at other people when they do it. 150%, coach, put me in. Just get in, Johnson. 150%. You need to lose 150%. I tell you that right now. So I want to talk about some things tonight that I think are very interesting. And I could have had this guest on. And I wound up getting laryngitis. I don't know if you remember the strangeness I had this year. The Pascagoula Abductions. Is it abductions or abductions? It's like Caribbean. Can't even do it wrong. Well, what is right? Doesn't really matter. Depends on where you're born, they say. North or the south. I don't get it, but that's what they say. Shot out of a cannon. I just don't like stupid people. I said it. There's stupid people in this field. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I couldn't say anything because that's all I can say. If I say any more, then it's a whole hour of talking about that. We got things to do. Let's do a show, and then maybe if we have time left over, we'll talk about these things. Who are you kidding? We're going to talk about it all night. I can't help it. I got to speak my mind when things show up. Forgive me for having an opinion, and I think things are really weird and funny. This is like the weirdest thing you could talk about. UFOs, isn't it? That's what everybody says. You believe in that? What are you, crazy? Crazy? I know 100 people who've seen UFOs and recorded them and have been validated. Vetted to the best of ufology. MUFON, frickin' vetters of all. MUFON does an investigation like a guy getting out of his car and forgetting to put the brake on. You know what I mean? It's like, there it goes. Fucking lost another one. Jag off. That was a good one. You scared that guy away. That could mean a million different things. However you want to take that, that's what I feel MUFON does. It's like, I messed it up. Oh, I just locked my keys in the door. MUFON. Just about anybody with a face can be an investigator for MUFON. You got a face, you got a job. That's pretty much it for MUFON. GoofOn? Shh. Try joining Facebook on GoofOn. You got to go through like vetting like you wouldn't believe. You want to know what you have to go through to become a member? Click here if you want to become a member. I got to let you in. That's a lot of responsibility for me. I just had to let someone out. That's not as hard. Letting people go, I don't mind. Letting them in, I'm a little scared. I don't know you. What are you going to say? What are you going to do? What are you going to post? Are you faking? Are you real? What are you doing here? Are you spying on me? What do you want to know? I talk about anything you want to know, but you never want to talk. You never want to say anything. You just sit there and put funny memes up and make me laugh all day. Who could ask for anything more? I love you guys in MUFON, GoofOn, whatever the hell you are. I love it. I love it. I think it's funny. You guys get it. You know, it's all right. We got some serious people that come in. I see them leave. I'm like, we don't want them. I can't stop talking about it. I'm sorry. You know, I just like having a good time. And if opening our eyes a different way and looking at something and saying, what's wrong with that guy? What an idiot. Instead of saying, you know, Johnson. It's the Johnson theme tonight. You know, that guy, I don't know. We think he was faking? He was, wasn't he? I knew it. Yeah, I don't know. Just something about him. I mean, that's how they figure shit out at MUFON. That's how they figure it out. I don't know. I don't know how they figured things out over there. I don't want to find out. All I know is GoofOn is the future. And if you don't believe it, fine. Don't believe it. You have no idea. No idea the capabilities of what this is going to be. But anyway, what is it? Pascagoula. Hey, watch your mouth. Hey, I just called you a Pascagoula. Don't get on me. It's the closest abduction. These are 2 guys fishing, taken, worked on, sent back home, freaked out, didn't say a word. Great story. We'll talk about it. Oh, I got to show you this stupid video, but what if I'm wrong? That's why I got to show you. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is so stupid, it can't be real. But I have to show you because what if I'm wrong? I don't know everything. I don't act like I know everything. I may know everything about searching for UFOs, but that's it. So there are these real Titan fossils, like giants, but they're like bigger than giants. They're like Titan, you know, like kings, queens, whatever. I don't know. That movie Titan, the gods, they think they found fossils resembling. They had shut down a whole island. Matter of fact, and then after that, we're going to talk about George Bush. We're going to analyze his body movements during 9/11. Remember when they told him a plane just hit the World Trade Center, and he's like, a plane, what? I mean, he lost all concept of reality. I can't wait to hear this guy's body language analysis. I only watched a part of it, so I don't ruin the excitement. You know, I want to watch it with you. Then there are these, there's a purple UFO that looks like a donut. Now, also, this same donut-shaped, almost identical Nazca line or glyph or whatever it is has shown up all of a sudden. I don't know where this donut thing has been, but I'm going to show you the comparisons. Well, I won't, but I mean, you'll see. It's Mr. MBB333. It's huge, guy. All right, and then we got some other things. Unprecedented. Another thing on the sun. They were told that's that one. Mystery Impossible. Oh, an alien abduction caught on video. It's old. You've probably seen it. But every now and then I want to throw in like the best of the best. You know, like this one will definitely get gold stars because nobody can tell if it's real or it's fake. I'm going to just go on the record saying that's real. That's coming up right after we do this. Let's look at the Titan video. I think this is crazy. I don't know what to believe, but I'm praying it's real. Wouldn't that be cool? Hold on. That would be phenomenal if this was real. Because imagine, like, okay, you know, we talk like Bigfoot and maybe like a 30-foot giant, but imagine like a 50-foot giant. Have you guys heard of this? Titan. That's what they're saying. Hold on. Has man ever stepped foot on the moon? No. Historian was Bush's behavior? No. Bill Burr? No. Shocking evidence nobody's talking about? No. Sun caught shining through a firmament and circling above? No. The gift that keeps on giving? No. Whoops, wrong again? No. Person of the year? No. Big announcement from Democrat genius? No. Heartbreak at CNN? No. P.S. Principal tries to ban candy canes at school, fails miserably? No. Real Titan fossils found? Didn't think I'd get there. Thailand closes Maya Bay. Check this out. I'm going to watch this. Look at the new little feature now. Look at me. Hold on. Where am I? You see me? Look at that, huh? Look at the graphics. It's little, but we're working on things. All right. So a little bit of here, a little bit of there. Just kind of spruce up the show a little bit. All right. So I'm going to play this clip. I'm going to get out of here. I'll let you have the full screen because that's the kind of guy I am. Shut up. See, I had to set it up. And I didn't press that. All right, let me get out of here. I'm ruining everything. Watch this. This is freaky. I wouldn't play it if I didn't care. Go. Turn on. Idiot. I thought the beginning was cool. Look at this. Look at the head. You see it. That's crazy. That's a mountain now. Oh, the music. Thank God it's just music. Let me turn it up. Idiot I am. I'm bad tonight. No, don't fire me. Give me another chance. They want you to look at the bodies. Now the bodies are going to look like the mountains. See, this is where it gets a little bit sketchy. You know what I mean? The whole thing's sketchy. Who are we kidding? I don't know. It looks good though, right? I don't know. Look, that's how big they would be. She was hot. I don't know, man. You see all those faces everywhere in the bodies? I just don't understand, like, why would they have to become mountains? You know what I mean? Because they died that way? Is that what happened? Like there was something cataclysmic and they kind of got like, what do they call them when people get freeze-dried? When they have those very cold blasts of air. Not people, but, you know, like, what do they call those? The woolly mammoth they found, you know, in like frozen, flash frozen, like cold air just came out of nowhere and froze them instantly. You know, like that movie, whatever, The Last Day, Tomorrow, whatever it is, Another Tomorrow, Not Today, Another Tomorrow, Not Today. That's actually pretty good. But I don't know if I'm buying into this. I mean, I want to, you know what I mean? Because it would be cool. And some of these things look, I don't know. They look really good. Like this one here, it's phenomenal. I really don't know what I'm looking at on this one, but I thought I would just say that. I mean, is this the head? Oh, here it is. Look. Here's the forehead, the eyes. Right? Is this what we're doing? Oh, hold on. Let me show you. Come on. God, I always hit the wrong one. I rearranged all my buttons. That's why. Like this. Look at this. So this here is the mouth, right? And then that's the nose, mouth, and then the eye, like it just, and then the forehead. Is that what we're looking at here? I don't know. There's a whole lot of stuff going on. You know, they want us to believe, like these people, this is from Pompeii, and they found them there because the heat from the blast of the volcano just like, you know, froze them there, and all the, what was it? Well, it wasn't tar. It was, what do they call that? Lava. I guess, I don't know. They got lava sprayed with mud. Oh, very weird. But they want us to believe that we're looking at that, you know, in these mountains. And I don't know. That, what do you call it? Isn't that great? Contrast. You see now, when you just look at it, I don't see it. When they point it out, I see it. So I don't know. Where is this? Oh, she's laying on her side. Okay. This is the one. This is the shoulder and then the hips. But that's a mountain back there, and then there's one up here, so that doesn't count. See, no, I don't buy it. That right there just showed me they're lying. They're lying. Unless that's a head, and this is another body, and a head got chopped off. I don't know. Anyway, I just thought it was cool. Looked real interesting. Thought I'd play it. It was a nice filler for 5 minutes, 7-10 minutes. All right, hold on. Let me check that one off the board. We're gonna why not do the me cam? All right. So you know, everywhere I go, anytime I do the show, I got a pen. All right, let's cross that one out. Is this it? Yeah, I don't know where it went. All right, so we're crossing that one off. What was that called? Now that was the fossils. Okay, that was supposed to be number 5. That was supposed to be the 5th thing I talked about tonight. But I went number 1 because I'm changing things up. All right, so let's keep it little by little. Let's go through a couple of little things, and then I want to talk about something that I feel I need to. We had a heart-to-heart the other night, you know, when Kip went rogue. We'll see how the clips go. I don't know. Things you just want to talk about. I just like to talk about things, that's all. I just want things to be known. That's all. Just saying. That's all I'm saying. There he is. The man of the hour is coming up. What am I looking for? Oh, the abduction. Now, this is an old one, so I don't know if everybody saw it. But we never talked about it to this capacity where we can point things out, even though we don't have to. I just want to talk about it. That's all. Just want to talk. That's all I'm asking. It might play by accident here. Come on. All right. See, I got it ready the right way. All right. So this is not very long, but it's about 5 minutes. But it's really cool. Some of you may have seen this. And I believe it was on Unsolved Mysteries. So let's get to this. I may be wrong. I probably am. It was one of those shows, though. That I know. And then I saw it on the internet. And I was like, oh, I saw that on TV. And now I see it on here. And I go, oh, yeah, I remember this one. And every year I see it. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I like that one.
Received an anonymous letter in the mail. Who received many letters like this?
Me.
But this one provided enough information to warrant further study. It told the story of a worker who appeared to have been abducted by aliens. The letter was accompanied by a tape which allegedly shows the abduction. Here's the tape.
I think this was off the best UFO evidence ever.
In the top right quadrant, a worker walks right to left through a gate.
Watch this.
Disappears here in a flash of light.
Dude.
16 p.m. The tape continued to run normally until almost 2 hours later. Then the victim reappears in a second flash of light, now in a fetal position. Then moments later, now crouching,
oh,
he vomits.
Oh, let me make it bigger for you.
Seconds later,
that's what she
staggers
said.
right to left, out of frame. According to the author of the letter, the footage was copied from a surveillance system. He reports that soon after the incident, the victim abruptly quit his job and moved away. We provided it to some experts for their analysis. Yvonne Smith is a well-known hypnotherapist and UFO researcher. She chairs a support group that counsels abductees. The stories her patients tell bear a striking similarity to the incident on the tape, particularly the victim's disorientation.
I work with many people that they suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. Something happened to them, externally happened to them, that they don't maybe quite remember, but they know they became ill. They know that, you know, they came back and it was 1 o'clock in the morning, and what happened? I just opened the gate and it was 11:15, and then next thing I remember, it's 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm sick to my stomach.
What happens during the missing time? Abductees claim they've been rendered immobile, transported to a craft, confronted by alien creatures, and taken to an operating room where the real terror begins.
Sperm is taken, ova is taken. I mean, there's a variety of experiments or examinations that take place during the course of an abduction. If during the course of what's happening to them, if they are being given medication, it's no wonder these people are ill.
Is this tape the first photographic evidence of the abduction phenomenon? Bill Schneed holds a PhD in criminology and psychology. As an investigative research analyst, he creates and cracks security systems. According to his preliminary investigation, little conclusive evidence can be drawn from the footage, and yet he believes that it's authentic.
I think if someone was to create this type of thing, it would have been much more professionally done, but it does appear to be an authentic video.
Both experts agree on one thing. If there is no explanation for the flashes and missing time, the tape may be a major breakthrough in abduction research, and for Smith, it could be the proof that validates millions of abduction claims.
This is what we've been waiting for, something that we could get our hands on and say, well, look, we got the time here, There's a flashlight, the power surge. Look at this whole thing. Everything went out. You know, and then the guy comes back, it's 2 hours later. Hey, he had 2 hours of missing time. That's not unusual. We have cases upon cases like this. And when here we have it on tape, you know, then if we could interview the guy, if I could do some hypnosis, some therapy with him, and see what happened in those 2 hours of missing time, and we can really put a fantastic case together.
Unless more information surfaces, no one can know if this was a real abduction. But researchers like Bud Hopkins, who's been a leader in the field for over 20 years, are more interested in the impact on the victim than the veracity of the footage. Because if aliens were involved, this individual is out in the world, suffering, and needs help.
The damage that's done to the psyche of those people is just incredible. And when they are put together with other people who have had the same kinds of experiences, there's such a sense. One woman said to me, it's like finding family. It's like being home. It's realizing that I'm not crazy, that these impossible experiences seem to have happened to other people. I feel enormously relieved.
We urge the author of the letter and the man in the tape to contact us. Clearly, this is a case that needs more investigation.
Very strange. It does need more investigation. Is there more in that? Wait, there is more. I'll do a 50-50. I don't know what happened. They're showing it again. See? Now, why can't this be real? I mean, it can be. There's no sound to it. But aren't there magicians who can make themselves disappear? And what I don't like about this is there was this letter, right? And then the guy disappears. Now, that could be a beer rejected. It could be cottage cheese. It could be anything. He deposited it. Now they're going to show us in negative. I love this. Oh, yeah. It's very strange. Now, easily this could be a hoax, right? That looks funny. He's kind of wobbling here. I mean, it's all too perfect, you know? Is it because we don't see where he goes, right? He just disappears when the light happens, when the light flashes. That's why people like this, because you don't see him disappear, right? He just disappears because the lights are flashing. It's very bright. Watch. What do you expect? Gonna see this? Did we miss it already? No. So he's gonna walk out. All right. Oh, come on.
In the top right quadrant, a worker walks right to left through a gate.
I'm gonna try to pause it.
Disappears here in a flat.
Oh, I did get it. Oh, look, what's that? Whoa, looks like a guy bent over. It looks like he's on the ground. There's his feet. He was just standing. It looks like his arms are behind his back. That's his head. What did I just find by accident? Did this really happen? Or maybe he's laying on his back and his arms are this way. That's what happened. What is that? That looks like a hand puppet. Right? Or is that a UFO? She's like, what do you want from me? Hold on, it snapped back. How am I going to get that back? I just found something really cool. Look at this. I'm seeing something I don't like. Hold on. Oh, that wasn't what I thought. I got to get that back.
16 p.m.
Did I catch something interesting?
The tape continued to run.
You see, YouTube, you really want to F with me tonight, right? Oh, now we're on extra large screen. Well, we do need it. I want to see this guy disappear, Joey. I want to see him legless. All right.
He disappears here in a flash of light at 11:16 p.m.
YouTube doesn't want me to double click, see?
Normally until almost 2 hours.
See, they don't like that in YouTube. They do that on purpose so you can't do this. Let's try to find it. Did I find it? I think I found it. Oh, wait, was I looking at this? That's what it was. There was no guy laying on the ground unless this was moved over. Is this what I was looking at? The arms folded over. That's what it was. So it wasn't the guy. See, that's why we do these debunkings. You got to do this stuff. Right? Usually I would download it, put it on software, run it frame by frame. But no, all that stuff's gone.
There are 4 black and white pictures.
All right.
In the top right quadrant,
I think that's what I saw.
Walks right to left through a gate.
Let's take a look.
He disappears here in a
I got to the flash too soon.
flash of light.
Yeah, see, I don't like this. You can't see anything. All right, well,
At 11:16
now,
PM,
if you really want
the
to...
tape continued to run normally until almost 2 hours
If you
later.
want to think somebody faked this, how could they have done it? Well, it's very simple. It's simpler than you could imagine, and you probably imagined it. So this guy walks out, which to me doesn't look, I don't know what he's doing back there. What's he doing anyway? For garbage? What do they say?
Through a gate. He disappears.
That's
right
all
to
they...
left through a gate.
They don't... See if they
In the
tell
top
us why.
right quadrant, a worker walks right to left through a gate.
They don't say why he's back there.
Disappears here
A
in a flash of
worker,
light
a worker
at
walks
11:16
through the
PM.
gate. So they don't
The tape
say...
continued to run normally until almost 2 hours later. Then the victim reappears in a second flash of light, now in a fetal position. Then moments later, now crouching, he vomits, and seconds later, staggers right to left, out of frame.
Now here's the weird thing. He worked there, right? So they know his name. Do you think the cops would go after and look for somebody like that? Do you think they would spend the man hours looking for this dude? I mean, they could just say, lady, you're talking about aliens here. I mean, you know how anybody would be like that. Most cops, right? Hey, we're not going to look for your friend. The guy just seemed drunk to us. He probably just drank a lot. Somebody played with the lights. He threw up. It made him sick. And that could really be what happened. You know that? This could be nothing. It could just be a guy walking like he's drunk and his friend flicking with the lights. I know it's more than flicking with the lights. I can see that too in the cameras, and I don't know how they would do that. But they could. You have to think, like the software. It all comes from one box. All you got to do is disturb the one box that's connected to the 4 cameras, and you can create that effect. I'm sure of it. I don't know how. I never got that advanced into that kind of stuff. But damn it, there's got to be an explanation to it. It's too good. All right. Well, I don't know. I don't know. There's got to be a way to fake it, right? And then here's the letter. I mean, you see, that's too much right in. What was the letter about? I got to see it. I forget.
According to the author of the letter, the footage was copied from a surveillance system. He reports that soon after the incident, the victim abruptly quit his job and moved away. We provided it to some experts.
So I don't understand why they even sending a letter. I don't get it. Does any of this make sense? The person who wrote a letter sent them the tape, but doesn't want to, I don't know, doesn't want to be bothered? That doesn't make sense. Anybody who's sending a tape to somebody definitely has an agenda to be noticed. And I don't care if they act all meek. It's passive-aggressive move. They don't want to seem like they're too excited because this happened or they faked it. So they're they lay back. They play it cool. This way it doesn't seem like it was faked. And then when you play it this far cool back, it brings up a little bit of red flags, but it's like, wow, this guy really doesn't want to be bothered. Maybe he's afraid for his life. Maybe he thinks it's the government. But why go through with the risk of letting anybody else know? There's an agenda behind that. That's a sickness. What do they call that? I forget, but it'll come back. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's just really, it's weird. It doesn't make sense. This whole story, it's got to be bullshit. If it doesn't make sense, it's not true. What have I been teaching everybody for years? If it looks too good, it's probably fake. If it walks like a duck and acts like a duck in this business, there ain't a duck. Well, most of the time it is, but there's some times where it isn't. It's very, very disturbing. All right, so we're done with that. See, that was supposed to be the beginning of the show. The first clip I was going to play. Everything's backwards. Everything's all strewn about like a puzzle. Oh. So my dad's birthday. It was good. Mexican food. Can't go wrong with Mexican food. So I get home. I had about 20 minutes to get ready. I hate rushing. I had everything set up. But the beginning of the show, see, I had to click on, and I didn't because I had the security camera on, and I forgot to reset the setting of what sound I wanted it to go through. I forgot all about that camera. That's why I had to restart the stream at the beginning. I didn't test it. Didn't have time. There's a lot that goes into getting ready. Oh, and a matter of fact, all right. So before we get into the Pascagoula, that's in a few minutes. I want to do a little bit of, let's do a little George Bush. And I want to take a break. I got to take a break for 5 minutes. It doesn't matter. But we're going to do that. That's what we're going to do. This is good. This George Bush thing. I've never seen this one. Some of you may have seen this. I don't know if you have. Okay, so, YouTube tells you to hit escape if you want out of this. Hit escape. They don't let me out. So now I got to hit that. And that takes 4 hours to work. Hold on. Well, I have all the videos all set up in my history section, and I don't want to open up a browser for each video because it slows down the computer stream of YouTube. And, man, it's like a UFO just turned on. So I keep everything in the history of YouTube, and then I know where it's at. I get it ready. Okay, so here's George Bush. This is I've always loved this clip. Always loved this clip of George Bush.
The second attack, I guess, is the one.
When he is told that a plane hit the World Trade Center. And for those of you who remember and were watching this, even if you weren't, I mean, you've seen it now over the last 16, 17 years. The look on his face, you can't write words any clearer than what he was saying with his body. You know what I mean? This guy, Webster Tarpley, I believe his name is, he's going to do a body analysis on his movements, the way his eyes were shifting. And I just love this, how you can tell a lot by the way someone talks, moves, anything. And this is what I don't think I'm an expert, but I'm really close to reading people and their body language. It's what makes a really good psychic. What makes a really good anybody trying to fake anybody else out, because you gotta lie. So it has to do with deception, not just lies. So there's lots of different types of body language. Happy, sad. You're hiding something. You're reserved. You're fearful. You're tired. I mean, there's all sorts of different things. But just like facial micro expressions, they call them, when somebody says something and they go, and they do this quick, gesture with their face. Sometimes they twitch, sometimes they blink, sometimes they sniff. There's a lot of things people do with their hands. A lot of people talk with their hands. If they stop talking with their hands, what the hell's wrong with that person? You can tell a lot. You ever work with somebody long enough, then after a while you're like, hey, what's wrong? No, nothing. Everything's good. No, man, you're always singing and laughing. You're always the person, that keeps me going. Today, what's the matter? You seem down. So you could already see you have some sort of perception detection. All right. I can't say that again without stuttering, so that's that. Here we go. I love this.
The second attack, I guess, is the one that's captured on news film, because he's in the middle of a photo opportunity reading to these, or listening to these children read My Pet Goat in the elementary school class in Sarasota, Florida. My personal analysis of this is that he is frozen in fear, terror, and panic. He does not know what to do. And he sits there waiting for somebody to tell him what it is he must do. He is not an active president. He doesn't call for telephones. He doesn't issue a parade of crisp orders. He doesn't say, scramble every fighter, bring down.
Okay, I'm going to say something right now. It's not really, what do they call it? When you hear about a scene before it's live on TV. I'm not going to ruin the story. You know what? I think it's good. I just forgot what I was going to say. I forgot what I was going to say. It was important, too. Oh, okay. Yes, I'm going to tell you something. George Bush was supposed to be killed on 9/11. Check it out.
Down all planes, close the borders, go to red alert. Nothing of the kind. He sits there, and we know that his press secretary, Ari Fleischer, is in the back of the room holding up a big placard saying, don't say anything. Don't comment. This is obviously not a president. This is a puppet. This is a figurehead. This is a ceremonial figure, if you like. That is how Bush tried to explain his behavior to the 9/11 Commission when he was interviewed. Of course, he had to be interviewed together with Cheney.
Man,
the reports are that he was sitting on Cheney's lap.
He's in a trance.
This interview, and there are other reports that Cheney was sitting on his wife's lap because that's how he.
Look at him, man. He's pissed. He's ashamed. Look at the curling of the mouth when he's not going to talk about that. But, I mean, he's in dead stare. He's in deep thought. Like, everything, this look doesn't come across a lot of people. Clinton, when he was caught with the scandal with, what's her name? Did not have this look. This is a look of a man in fear for his life. Clinton was just afraid for his reputation. This is a life look. You don't see this that often. George Bush thought he was going to get whacked on 9/11. Well, that's what this guy says. But I believe it. I never thought of it. I never thought of it until I watched this video. I heard it before and I dismissed it. And I don't know why I would dismiss it, but I did when I originally heard it. I don't know, man. Watch.
He has to appear. Cheney can't appear without his wife, and Bush can't appear without Cheney. So Bush said, I sat there and tried to project calm and strength. Now, this is an absurdity that is verging on pandemonium of insanity. He simply doesn't know what to do. He's got to be told what to do. There's the other dimension, is that as you read, for example, in my book, I devote a whole chapter to Bush's behavior and movements on this day, because I consider it to be of critical importance. A Secret Service agent, hearing the news of either the first or the second plane hitting the buildings in Manhattan, said, "We're out of here." That was standard operating procedure. The standard operating procedure is if a major terror event is in progress, the president has to be taken to a secure location. We know, for example, Cheney, obviously considered much more important, was literally picked up and carried from his office in the White House down into the bunker in the sub basement, where he would probably be safe from a direct airplane impact, maybe. But in the case of Bush, despite the fact that one Secret Service agent says we're out of here, they don't move him. He stays there. Somehow that impulse is overridden. The standard operating procedure is abandoned.
Unbelievable.
And Bush is essentially left there as a sitting duck. I don't believe reports of conspiracy theorists who say, well, they let him stay there because they were all in on it. They all knew everything that was happening. the invisible government, the coup faction or putsch faction behind 9/11 is in the federal government, but they don't issue engraved invitations to their terrorist actions. They confront somebody like Bush with a fait accompli, and we'll get into that perhaps in a second. But they left him there as a very inviting target. There's good research by Daniel Hopsiker that there had been something resembling an assassination attempt against Bush in the morning. A camera crew showed up at Bush's hotel in Longboat Key in Florida on the morning of 9/11 at 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. And they said, we're here to do an interview. The Secret Service allegedly said, we don't know anything about that interview, go away. The guess might be that it might be a Maqsood operation. In other words, Maqsood was a leader of the Northern Alliance in Afghanistan. He had been assassinated several days before by a camera crew of suicide bombers who came in, and instead of having a camera, as we do here, I hope, they had an exploding bomb that killed all of them, but killed Maqsood as well. I would ascribe that to the CIA.
They were coming for Bush. They were coming for Bush. I'll tell you how Bush was saved in a minute.
Rather than to anybody else, because they didn't want a nationalist like Maqsood running the Northern Alliance. He would have been too difficult to handle. He was somebody who had stood up to the Soviets. He wouldn't hesitate to stand up to the punks from the CIA and the U.S. forces. So assassination attempt in the morning, hung out to dry, essentially left there, security stripped in the morning. Then Air Force One takes off. No fighter escorts are there. And there's also a tremendous reluctance on the part of the pilot of Air Force One to tell the Air Force where he's going. The reports are that a couple of fighter jets finally appear, but they're simply told, follow Air Force One, we're not telling you where we're going. Doesn't really indicate too much trust in the military. Indicates rather that the people in Air Force One knew that they were in the midst of a military coup, and that Bush might become expendable at any point in the day. And then above all, the centerpiece of 9/11, I think the single most important piece of evidence in the entire day, the incoming threat given to the Secret Service, Angel is next, meaning we will destroy Air Force One.
Unbelievable.
And it doesn't just come with Angel is next. It then comes with a train of cosmic level code words, top secret code words, indicating that behind that threat is a network that has access to the most important secrets of a whole range of executive departments, presumably CIA, National Security Agency, Pentagon, FBI, Justice, Treasury even, the whole array. And that's a threat. The idea is, what they're saying to Bush is, you've got to go on television and start saying, Bin Laden, Bin Laden, Bin Laden, Al-Qaeda, 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 and you will remain in office. If you don't, you may be liquidated at any time. You may not.
See, I think George Bush was saved by his father. That's what I think. I think his father said, well, don't kill him. You don't need to kill him. I mean, you can see he ain't that bright. Come on, man. That's my boy. Oh, Jeb. Oh, come on. Oh, that's Bill Clinton. You know the point I'm making, though. George Bush Sr. has a lot of respect. There was no reason to kill George Bush. Actually, I think there was, because he wasn't the brightest bulb on the tree. That's what I think. And they were just going to get rid of him, you know. But his father must have pulled some strings, I think. Or maybe they rethought it. Like, wait a minute, do we really want, was it Cheney? Do we want Cheney as president? I mean, he'll push that button anytime, even if we don't say to. I don't know. But I think that's why I think George Bush was saved. I think Sr. helped his son. Anyway, it's my thought. What do I know? I mean, this guy obviously knows more than me. But, you know, that's the thing. I'm sitting here watching this, and then I'm going, wait a minute. You know, there's always someone out there to rebuke what he's saying. No, that's not true. That's not true. The Jets couldn't get there on time. It wasn't that they didn't want to. if a missile was aimed at the president's airplane, they didn't want to be shot down by accident. Well, that's what their job is to do, is to get shot down if a missile is, make sure the missile doesn't hit the president. So why hang back? I don't know. Wasn't there. Don't know anything about the military. Do you? Exactly.
See the end of this day. I think to some degree what's most interesting about 9/11 are the things that almost happened but didn't. What happened, of course, was a terrific tragedy, but the things that might have happened were even worse. The other thing the invisible government wanted Bush to do, this coup faction, if you will, was to get on the phone with Putin and tell him, we are seizing Afghanistan now, and we're going to set up bases in your soft underbelly in the former Soviet republics of Central Asia. Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzia for starters, after that perhaps Turkmenistan, Kazakhstan, and the rest. That is a very dangerous move. That might have been responded to by Putin with his own threats. He might have said no. So the invisible government had to have the possibility of nuclear escalation, and they did. They had it in two ways that we know of. One is that in the Angel is Next phone call, they had code words that seemed to indicate that they had access to the nuclear launch codes, that they were able to somehow access the so-called football, the collection, the briefcases that are filled with these codes that accompany the president but are also kept in other places for use in case of all-out nuclear war. So the perpetrators of 9/11, the coup faction inside the U.S. government, have these codes. They can launch nuclear war that way. There's another way they could have launched it, through an exercise called Global Guardian, because it just so happened that on the morning of 9/11 there was also an exercise simulating all-out thermonuclear war. And part of that exercise appears to have been an attempt, as a part of the drill, as a part of the simulation, for a rogue faction to gain access to command and control systems that would give them the ability to launch missiles. So that might be the concrete, specific backdoor that the invisible government might have used in order to escalate in the nuclear realm if that had become necessary. Essentially, the ultimatum to Bush is, either you launch the war of civilizations against the Arabs and the Islamic world in Afghanistan, later in Iraq, you launch it in conventional form, or we will launch it ourselves in nuclear form. In other words, we can incinerate Cairo, Damascus, Tehran, you name it, Kabul. All of those places can be hit by missiles within minutes.
Yeah, no wonder why it didn't make sense. There's no weapons of mass destruction, right? That's why that story never worked out. I just think it's really weird that people say fake news was back then. No, it wasn't. It was just bad intel. And the reason that is because the media did not have to come back with them announcing that there were no weapons of mass destruction. Why would we make ourselves look that bad unless it wasn't true? Unless it was true, I mean. That's the only reason. There's no other reason. It sounds like a 24 plot, This is crazy. Where's Jack Bauer? Seriously, an attempt on the president's life. Planes are being hijacked. I mean, it's crazy. Cheney being carried off to the bunker. They carried him. They could have walked just as fast, right? I mean, they're carrying him? How? Like at a rock concert? Passing him around like a joint? Here, you take him. No, you take him. No, you take him. No, you take him. No. Cheney. You take him. You take him. No. It just doesn't seem logical for us to come out and say, it was an accident. Sorry we killed everybody, but there's just no weapons of mass destruction. Sorry. Oopsie. That's what it was like. Sorry. we only killed 2 million. It wasn't like everybody. And that's what they acted like. Colin Powell. You never seen anybody look so disheveled. Oh, what a word. I love disheveled. He looked disheveled. It's very hard to make an afro look disheveled. He looked disheveled. What did I just say? But it's true. Tell me I'm lying. All right, let's finish this off. Just 2 more minutes. And it's Pascagoula. But we are going to take Pascagoula. I like Pascagoula. It's like a soup.
We'll do that and leave you to deal with the consequences. Now, of course, one of the overtones of this, and I'm relying here on, just in terms of the sources, the Réseau Voltaire, presumably having the benefit of the French intelligence services. Secondly, Debka, a website that is close, I believe, to the views of the Israeli Mossad, and then another one called Namakon, which is a group of KGB Soviet intelligence veterans. They seem to converge on this hypothesis that there was a nuclear option built into it. And essentially it's an ultimatum telling Bush that the only way you can remain in office is if you begin to preach the war of civilizations and act in the way that we are demanding. There's also reports through the Réseau Voltaire in particular that Tony Blair was on the phone actively with Bush telling him, you've got to go on television and say Al-Qaeda bin Laden. And of course for that there was absolutely no proof. There was no scrap of proof in the world that bin Laden, Al-Qaeda had anything to do with this. And indeed, the FBI has admitted that in going into Afghanistan, they never found anything, not one line, not one scrap, that would have anything to do with the events of 9/11. So I think the scratching the surface on 9/11, what is revealed is a horror that is much greater than even the one that we saw.
That bong you just heard was for the plane coming to a complete stop. Don't stand. You'll see doors that'll unlock on your left and on your right, on the side of some of you, and behind some of you as well. Welcome to Montreal. My name is Richard, and I'm here to take you out tonight, so pack up tight and get off the ship. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I really like that analysis and that story. I didn't realize there was so much to it. George Bush. Man, it would have been a weird world with Cheney, right? Right? It would have been weird. Dick Cheney. George Bush. Donald Trump. You see how all the names of these presidents, they're pretty basic, aren't they? Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln, Donald Trump, Donald J. Trump, Donald J. Trump Jr., Trump Towers, the Trumpster, Trumpety Dump Dump. Anything else? You've been trumped? You're fired. All right. Let's take a 2-minute break. We do need to take a break, so that's what we're going to do. So I don't know if I have anything to play for you, so just chill out. All right? No, watch this. Look what I got. I can do that one, or we can do this one. Well, that's a good one. I'll just leave the mic empty. All right, I'll be right back. Everybody take tree. I love that. It's one of my favorite noises. It's actual alien music. Seriously. I'm not kidding. It comes from crop circles. Oh, I figured out what crop circles are. I want to tell you about it. Can we turn this down? I have to turn it off. It's almost over. Welcome back. You're listening to the Goof on Radio stream right here on YouTube. I'm your host, Rich Giordano. Sunday night. It's a good night. It's been a good weekend, I guess. I was supposed to do things and I still didn't do, and I don't know why. I just don't want to do anything. I don't know. Anyway, but, I like resting and watching TV, and that's pretty much what I did. Watched a lot of YouTube. I don't know what it is about YouTube lately. I just can't stop watching all sorts of stuff. There's nothing. You know what I told myself when it was like 2:30 in the morning, and I haven't slept. It was Friday night, and I said, "Why do I care what time it is? I'm 50 years old. I'm single by choice. I do what I want, when I want. Why am I so worried about staying up watching YouTube? I stayed up till 6:30 just watching stuff, fell asleep for a few hours on the couch, and loved Saturday. Did that all day Saturday. What's wrong with that? If you don't have to work, isn't that what you're supposed to do? Right? Relax. Why am I so worried I got to do something? Got to clean this, or I got to screw the screw in on that, or I got to work on this, or, just once in a while. It's okay to do nothing and love it. I watched all sorts of stuff, man. I watched 4 hockey games, not in a row, but I watched 4. And it was awesome, and I can't wait to watch more after the show. I'm going to watch another. I'm behind like 8 games on my schedule. I don't want to tell you who my team is because I don't want to know anything, but I'm very excited that I did that this weekend. And you should too. Relax, maybe check out a bunch of movies. Remember when you were young and that's all you did? You didn't have to do anything? School was out, it was summertime. Or it was the weekend, you had no homework. What'd you do? Whatever you wanted. You're an adult, you can still do it. I know some of you have kids, families, wives, husbands, kids. You work so much, you really don't have time to do anything. I get that. Been there. But if you don't wind down, man, you're going to break down. I don't want to see that happen to any of my little goofonians out there this evening. Sunday night, light it up, baby. It's time. It's time. Oh, okay. All right. You want to get into that? Let me cross this off. We did George Bush. I didn't really do anything, did I? Okay, so we're down to no UFO. Oh, SpaceX. I want to do this one. The SpaceX Dragon, there was a UFO that went by. This won't take long. Let me pull it up. Oh, my eyes just bugged out. Whoa, that was weird. I couldn't close them. You ever have that happen when you're looking down for a while and you look up and you can't close your eyes? There was this UFO sighting. Freaking awesome. I have nothing but to say but congratulations, ufology. There's finally a UFO video out there that you could say, I think that's a real freaking UFO. For once, you can say that. I think this is that video. Yeah, I know, I got it over here. I got it all set up. How could I miss it? Where's my, oh wait, the screen just froze. There it is, okay. Let me pull it out. I gotta find it now. No. 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 Where is it? This is bizarre. I don't know where it is. This is crazy. Something went wrong here. Hold on.
Archaeological discoveries of all time. The tomb really.
All right. Well, I wrote it down. I mean, that's bizarre. Hold on. I think it's on my website. Let's go to GoFund. Oh yeah, don't forget to Oh, I still have it on intermission? What is wrong with me? What a loser. What a loser, man. What a loser. Yeah, what a loser. I'm such an idiot. That's so stupid. I'm doing a show and it says intermission. That's the intermission. It's the show. We might as well do the show on the intermission. Let's freak everybody out who watches this, right? Let's just do this. Oh, it doesn't pull up the right camera. I can't. All right. That was fun while it lasted. All right. Paranormal news. We're on GoFund Network. It's the website of GoFund Radio. So let's see. There he is. Tom DeLonge. We'll talk about that. A UFO recorded over Argentina. Oh, yeah, we could do that one. Principal tried to ban candy canes at school. Yeah. You see, I put all of the stuff that's going to be on the show on the website now. So you could always go to GoFund Network and look at the videos and everything else and at your own leisure. All right, here it is. Let me tell you. I got the article from SecureTeamUs.us, and the video, I guess, is from them. But here it is on the 14th. A triangular object seen flying past the SpaceX Dragon. I don't know why it's not showing. Conspiracy theorists who realized the UFO video argue that NASA and Elon Musk are hiding something sinister which happens in the skies. Third phase of moon. What? A popular conspiracy theory channel run by... Okay. No. We're just going to watch the video.
On December the 8th, during live observations of the maneuvers being performed by the SpaceX
Let me get to the actual
GRS
thing.
16 resupply mission on its rendezvous with the International Space Station, cameras detected an active spacecraft passing in the background, leading...
Oh, there's the radio show. Did you know I have my own network? Oh, what's on?
Ufology, Bigfoot, or ghosts. So basically, he's innocent because he doesn't care about or showed that he cared about getting his name out there.
That's me.
Believe me, if you want to seem credible, that's what you do. You turn everybody down. It's the smart move. I think Bob Lazar was smart. I think that's why his attitude changed. I think that's why nobody killed him.
Yeah, this guy's good. I like Rich.
See or heard of any proof of bullet holes in his car or that his brake lines were cut by anybody else.
All right. That's live right now. You can listen to it right here. Oh, look at this. Look what showed up. That's not even where I got the story. How funny. We're going to talk about that coming up. All right. What were we doing? It should be in the history, right? Because I played it. Let's see. This better have worked. There it is. It worked.
Leading to speculation that the Black Knight satellite has been captured live on camera for the first time in decades.
That's the Black Knight?
You clearly see that this is an object and not a light reflection or glare on the lens.
This is amazing. They steal Tyler's website. I love it. Does that look like the Black Knight satellite? Can we pause this? I mean, that's legit UFO right there. Okay, watch. Hold on. I mean, that's a legitimate UFO. If space is real and the International Space Station's real and SpaceX Dragon is real, then this is real. I even think that's a star. Let's just say this is a UFO. It's very unconventional. Very strange. I mean, this looks like, this literally looks, you know what it looks like? Like a camera, like a handheld tripod. There's the handle. And there's the neck where you can spin it around. This is where you could swivel it. This is where you spin the neck. And this is just the base that the camera sits on. That's all this is. Somebody, wait a second. Turn this around. That's the letter R for Richard. It's a balloon in space. That's all this is. That's the string. These are other balloons. You can see these are purple. This is orange. It's the Phoenix Suns lofted their balloons. That's a P. I don't know what those squid got. It's another balloon. Touches something else. No, really, seriously, I don't know what this is. Let's just say it's a UFO because it is. Phase of Goon. Third phase of Goon. Third phase. Turd face and the Goon is what I like to call them. A little difficult to say. You know, it's weird. This kind of reminds me of this. The SpaceX Dragon. They're almost the same. It's huge. That really wasn't that far away. They think this was yards away, like 30 yards away. You could even see the sun reflecting off of it. Watch this. This is badass. I'm just going to let it run this time. Let's hear what they say. You don't want to hear what I want to say. Yeah, nobody does. Dude, somebody's tripping. I don't know what that was all about. I didn't see anything. Somebody was on some space dust. Dude, they make it look like that object is shooting at the, right? Watch. Looks like he shot at it. Check it out. Pew! He changed it color. I love the trickery and tomfoolery.
Space agencies across the world to ridicule the real reason we have an orbiting satellite that has been in Earth's orbit for thousands of years. The latest footage is clearly something. Once again, we are
It's not that loud.
The journey of our fairly modern civilization.
Not my fault.
Nothing but a blip in the history of this planet.
Can't help
what do you
you.
guys make of the stunning footage of this anomalous object? Comments below, and as always, thank you for watching.
So what do you guys think, huh? UFO? I've been watching. I'm going to have to confess. Well, you know, you get bored. I get bored looking at the same videos, right? So there was at one point where I fell asleep and woke up to the space is water theory. Have you heard of this? Because if you go by the Bible, and I'm not saying this has to do with the Bible, but they talk about a firmament. And above us is water, and the earth is water. As above, so below. Isn't that what that's about? I don't know. But if the firmament cracks, the big flood will happen like it did way back in the day of the Moses. Remember that guy? How did the firmament crack back then? I don't know. But if it's true, And let's take away the firmament. But if it's true that space is water, which is why some of two NASA astronauts almost drowned in space, saying it was the water from their suit. No. No! That is not what happened to those astronauts. They almost drowned in their own snots. The astronauts, they almost drowned in space. The astronauts had water on their face. It was in their helmet. It was in their mouth. It was in their ear hole. It was even at the south. The astronauts in space. They got water on their face. There's nothing that you can do when you're 242 miles away. Day. It's water in space. When you live on Earth, you got 75% water. Your body's made up of 95% with some blood and bones and guts. It makes up the rest of us. But there's water in space. It's on the astronaut's face. Then it's on his face. He's in space. He's in water. It's all fake. Just like the water in space. And we'll be back right after this message. We're out fishing, and the thing is, okay, in that place, it was like they were in some sort of, what do you call it, like a graveyard for appliances. So Calvin Parker and this guy, I can't remember his name. What's his name? Chuck? Calvin and Chuck? I think it's Chuck, right? It is. It's Chuck. Calvin and Chuck. Calvin Parker and, I can't remember the guy's name. Calvin Parker. Is it Chuck Shermer? Is that who it is? No. Shoot. Pascagoula boys. What's their name? Well, anyway, Calvin Parker. It's not a long story. Believe it or not, it's actually short. I was surprised how short it was. But it's the years of the things that kept happening, I guess, to this guy, Calvin Parker. Anyway, I want to play this video because it's not really a video. It's an audio clip, but I could tell the story, but just listening to him tell it is great. I'll just tell it because we're almost done. No, not really. We got another hour, right? We got another hour. 45 minutes at least. So I'll just tell it. So to make a long story short, he went to go live with his dad's friend, I guess, and got him a job. I don't know if he was a troubled kid. I don't remember that part of the story. But it was back in like the 50s. 52, I don't know, somewhere around there. Maybe I'm wrong. But Calvin Parker was like 19 or 20 years old and went to go to work and get his life straightened out, meet a girl, get married, have a normal life. And he went to go work with his dad's friend up in Pascagoula. So, I don't know. You know, they worked a lot, and after work they would relax, come home or, have a couple of drinks at the local pub up there, whatever. I guess, I don't know. Back then, I guess they were allowed to drink at 19, 20. But anyway, one day, this guy who was with Calvin, I can't remember. Peter Parker. No. He says, we worked a lot. Let's go home. Forget going home, he said. Let's go fishing. So they get out to this place, and it looks like I don't know if it was an old building where they made something. I can't remember. It was kind of like an industrial type of place. But he said you can tell nobody's worked there in a while. There's a lot of tall weeds and grass everywhere. And when it rained, they had a big flood, and a lot of people dumped their broken refrigerators, ovens, and stuff like that, couches, chairs. They throw all that stuff out in this industrial courtyard, I guess you can call it. And when it rained, it rained so much it flooded, and all this stuff got pushed up, and it's all along the borders there of where this little lake is. And when the water retreated, everything stayed behind. So there's this huge 60 meters of crap everywhere. So takes them about, I guess, 300 feet, something like that, to walk. It took about 10, 15 minutes to walk through all of this stuff. And they get to the pier, and Calvin sees these blue lights in the distance, and it was really weird because these blue lights seemed like they were by where they parked. So he told his buddy who was there with them, oh man, he goes, I think the law is going to want to have us move the truck because we probably parked where there's a no trespassing sign. And I think there was a sign, it was down, but I think it said no trespassing, but they're probably going to want to talk to us. So they think these flashing lights are the police. Well, this UFO just lifts up, comes out over the close to them in that little junkyard area, and out of this brilliant white light. And he said it was bright, but it didn't hurt your eyes kind of deal. And he saw these two aliens step out of this door where the light was coming out of the ship. And he said they didn't walk to them. They hovered over to where they were fishing. So I think he said something to his buddy like, hey, bud, you see this? And yeah, I see it or something. Next thing he knows, he sees two aliens hover over to his friend, and they grab him. And one of these aliens, and he said they were kind of like robots. They had, the big heads and everything and the eyes, but he said that they were more humanish, kind of. It was really strange. I think that's what he said. Either that, but when he got in the ship, they were definitely human-ish. It was humanish woman. Kind of like the head nurse. Head nurse. Some of you might get that. So he says he feels like he got injected with something in his arm. And the next thing he knows, he doesn't care anymore. He felt relaxed. All he cared about was where his friend was, because he was concerned about him. But he sees that they're being lifted up and they're getting closer to this UFO, but he's not worried. He's not freaking out. Whatever they injected into him, he said it made him feel like he didn't care. He said happy pills is what it was like. And they get into this UFO, and he said that the lights were emitting out of the wall. It was as if the ship was made of light. He says he couldn't explain it. It was very, very bright. And he said he was trying to look for light fixtures to see how these lights were that bright. He wanted to see what kind of light bulb, I guess, So he's looking for light fixtures, wondering where his friend is. He's got this alien lifting him up, putting him onto what he called an operation table. And he said this thing, they kind of immobilized him. He couldn't move. And then he said it was a woman. he sensed, I guess it looked like a woman, came up to him and said, everything's going to be all right. We're not going to hurt you. And with that, he felt really relaxed again, and his fear started going away. It was as if whatever they shot him with kept wearing off, and he kept getting these feelings, and then they would inject him, or maybe they didn't want to overdose him, so they didn't give him too much, so it was wearing off real quick. But there's more weirdness about that later. So he says he's looking up, he's staring up, and he sees what looks like a deck of cards. And it gets to the front of his face, and it starts turning. And he hears a clicking noise, click, 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 like, I guess maybe the sound of a camera, I don't know. But he said it was churning, and it went around his head, and then it came back in front of him, went to the left, went to the right, and it kept making these clicking noises. And then it got back in front of him where it started, and then went right back into the ceiling. And that was it. Oh, no. The lady who came out, he says he was not scared, but he knew that she could read his mind. It was really weird what he said, the way he was saying it in this interview. He said, it's like she knew me. You know, you hear that a lot with abductees. A lot. People who have these similar situations. It's like they know your whole life. They know your soul. They know your essence. The thing that makes you, you, they know better than you. You know? That's some scary shit. That's some deep stuff right there. So these aliens, now, when they were lifting him up, he's like, how is this alien lifting me up? He says, I wasn't big, but I was 160 pounds, 5'8" or 5'9". And he's lifting me by the arm effortlessly. Why isn't my arm breaking? Why aren't we falling? So the same feeling he had going up, he had going down when they were bringing him out to be put back on the pier. And he said this time it was different because I was able to look over the grass and everything. And he said, man, I don't know. I enjoyed it. He enjoyed it because he was getting a scenic view, man. And he said it was weird. Like, he said he had his mind, he had his senses, but he couldn't move. That's the only thing that was different. He was able to be him, but he couldn't move. So he was thinking right, you know, maybe a little groggy, but didn't care. But he was 100%. So when they put them down, he doesn't see his friend immediately, but he hears his friend call out to him. And as soon as he hears his voice, he felt like relieved, like, oh, God, he's okay. And he came out of this trance when he heard his friend's voice call for him. So the weird thing about this is what happened with their conversation, which I think is fascinating, which to me leads a lot. It makes this story that much more credible. And this is one of the best abduction cases I've ever heard. I believe it. And I don't believe a lot of people. You know that. You don't either. Who are you kidding? You don't believe it. A lot of people either. Travis Walton, you know, I think we all can believe him, right? This falls in that category. This is that. So, his friend, hold on a second. I'm going to find out who it is. I can't keep doing this. Well, his friend wants to talk to him about it. Because he wants to call the cops. We got to tell somebody. And he's like, Calvin Parker's like, no, I don't want to tell anybody. He goes, I just got my life back together and I'm going to get married in a month. I don't want people to think and my wife to think I'm crazy. The cops will want to talk to us. You know, everybody's going to want to know this and that. He's like, man, no, I can't have this in my life. Calvin said, we're not telling anybody. And he said he was surprised how calm his friend was, maybe because he was 40 years old, a little more mature, but he wanted to talk, and Calvin did not. And they sat on this log by the, hold on a second, I'm looking for it. And they talked about whether or not they were going to call the police. And his friend's like, I got to tell somebody. He's like, you can't. Calvin's like, no, please don't. You can't tell anybody. He goes, well, I got to call the cops. He goes, they won't tell anybody. He goes, I don't want the news to know about it. Once they know about it, everybody will know. No, they're going to think we're crazy, man. People will look at us differently. They'll think we were drinking or messing around with something else, and I don't need that now. So his friend calls the cops. They go, he couldn't talk him out of it. He was half his age, I guess. Maybe felt a little intimidated, but this guy was having none of it and called the police. And the police are like, all right, yeah. You saw a couple what? Stay right there, guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right there. So I can imagine Calvin's pissed. The cops get there. He says about 10 minutes. They got there real quick. They came up hot, is what he said. They were like, screeching to a halt. I guess they thought they were drinking or doing something else and playing a game, and the cops were afraid they were going to get in the car and drive like that. So they boogied on over there to see what was up, and they told them their story. And the cop's like, oh, man. Well, I don't know. Well, just so happens there was 2 witnesses that were standing on a bridge that saw it and corroborated the story. So the cop decides, all right, let's go down to the station. We'll make a record of it. We won't tell anybody, but I got to document it. Now, Calvin didn't know this, but I think the cops did this on purpose. But when the cop sat down and talked to them and took the report, he had a secret recorder taping everything. And the thing is, they were hoping that Calvin and his friend, when the cop left the room, would start giving away the story and not knowing it was recorded because it was so weird. And on the recording, you hear Calvin goes, man, they're not going to believe us. I can't believe they're not going to believe us. This is amazing. We didn't do anything wrong. We were da-da-da-da. And he's talking about it, not breaking his story, even though the cop's not there. He's worried that nobody's going to believe them, which validates everything to me. He didn't know that recorder was there. He could have said, if they were faking it, man, they're buying it. They're buying this story. I can't believe it. This is great. He didn't do that. Neither one of them did. They were worried they wouldn't believe them, that they were thinking they were going to be crazy. People would think they're crazy. It's crazy. It really is. And that other people saw it. What bothers me, though, is that it's so short. It's so short. But that the way he tells the story, and maybe I'll play a clip for you for 2 minutes here, just so you can get an essence for what I was listening to. You can tell this guy's been there, man. He's been in the UFO, him and his friend. Check it out.
Just hadn't done any cleanup since this place been out of business.
I'm going to play the abduction scenario.
So I kind of glanced around to both sides looking for a place to run, and it was water and see anything. I mean,
here we go.
To the ship. Now, this craft was sitting in behind us close to where we had parked, except it was about 50 foot further out from my car. And I thought to myself, I told Charlie, I said, I believe the law's back there. They fixing to make us move because we trespassed him or something. because I did see an old trespassing sign up when we walked down there. It wasn't up real good, but it was one there. And we stood up and turned around and looked. And gosh, when we looked, it was scary. All of a sudden, it was a bright light. You just really couldn't see anything. I mean, it was so bright that it blinded you when it appeared. And what I figured, I didn't know right then, but what I figured out by now, the door, it must have been the door when it opened on the craft, and this was coming from the inside of the craft.
What time of the day was this, Calvin?
It was just barely getting dark, so I figured it was probably around 5 o'clock. Neither one of us had a watch. It was a little after 5 because it took about 15 minutes to get home and 15 more minutes to get back to the shipyard, about 15 minutes to walk down there. So it was going on probably close to 6 o'clock, the best I can estimate. No exact time because, like I say, we didn't have a watch. So it took just a minute to be able to see anything besides that, but I seen 3 figures floating. And when I say floating, literally floating across the top of that debris, well, that scared the living daylights out of you. So I kind of glanced around to both sides looking for a place to run, and it was water and debris on the left, water and debris on the right, because they'd pull them ships up in them deals. And I knew what was in front, a bunch of debris and water, and it would have been more dangerous to jump off into that river than it would, I thought, to run the way that we came in. But we didn't have time to run. They was there just a fraction of a second, it seemed like. So 2 of them got a hold of Charlie, and one of them got a hold of myself. And that's when I felt like an injection into my arm.
The guy's name was Charlie. Charlie.
And felt, then all at one time, I just felt real relaxed. So that's why I figured it was an injection. And I'll get more into that when I get to the story tomorrow about the hospital. So that just relaxed me, but it also kind of paralyzed me. And I wasn't able to turn or turn my head anyway or move in any way. And we automatically, when he got a hold of me, he automatically levitated us off the ground. And I was thinking to myself, I had my clear thoughts about me. And I was thinking, why didn't this break my arm or something? You know, I wasn't real big back then, about 160 pounds, but it should at least snap my arm or felt a little pain.
Let me say something real quick. I tell a great story. I mean, I pretty much said exactly what this guy did in my own words. Damn, I'm a good story person. I didn't realize that. Anyway, let me get up to the ship here. This is pretty good. Takes some tells a good story, but it takes a while.
A table now, but they put us on something, and I was laid on about a 45-degree angle in this room, so it got my vision where I could kind of turn my eyes, roll my eyes each way and look around to see what I could see. And that's when I got a pretty good look at what had me. Up until then, I really didn't understand what had a hold of me. And he let me go, and I couldn't move off that table. So while I was there on the table, I noticed he backed up at the back of the room, and this different little creature come out, or little humanoid come out. And I'm saying it was a female. I don't know to this day what it was, if it was male or female or what it was, but it come out of another little room and approached me.
And the fact that he's saying, I don't know what it was. I mean, he's telling this story like he's remembering it yesterday. I don't know what it was. I guess it was a woman. I mean, he's not like sitting there going, oh, it was definitely a woman, definitely. He really didn't know. I mean, it probably looked a little, feminine, but he didn't know. I mean, it's just little things like that that tell a lot about this guy's story, that it just reeks with validity. Another good word.
And I could just turn my eyes and kind of see her or it. And it was a little more human looking than what this thing that come got us was. Now, the one that brought us in moved mechanically. It was, you could tell by the way that it was moving, it might have been a robot or some kind of soldier or something, because everything.
All right, I'm going to stop it there. I mean, can you imagine just sitting there fishing, minding your own business, and a robot-looking thing? I mean, this sounds definitely like Star Wars, Star Trek type of stuff. How could this be really happening? Really? 2 guys? And I was right about his name. I called him Chuck. It's Charlie. I think it is fascinating. I think it's right now you can get it for the book for free on Amazon if you do a free trial. So I'm going to do that tonight. Just, you have to remember to cancel after a couple of weeks, so you don't get charged. But it's worth a free read. Well, I think I know enough about it now. I've listened to his interview, so I think I know enough about it. I mean, what else is there? That's what's cool about this guy. Not only is he talking about it with Linda Moulton Howe and other popular hosts, radio shows and podcasts, he's also selling the book. He doesn't care about the money. He said the reason he wanted to do this, come out now, he's 80 years old. He says, I wanted to do it because I ain't going to be here forever, and I don't want somebody telling the story and messing it up. And my family's been, telling me, you need to do this, you need to do this. And he did. And he wrote this book. I can't remember the guy's name. Really good guy is his publicist. Shoot, he's on the website. It'll hit me. I can't remember it a second. Philip Mantle. Philip Mantle. The one who put this book out. Now, he did not have Philip alter any of the words, any of the speech patterns. When you're reading this, Calvin wanted you to read it as if you were hearing it from his mouth. It wasn't professional book, but it was done professionally, but it wasn't polished. And, there were some words misspelled, and instead of, I don't know, I can't remember, like blonde, it was supposed to be bunches or something, I don't remember, but the word was misspelled. There's a couple misspellings here and there. Maybe a period is missing on a sentence. He didn't want it changed at all. And if Calvin changed anything, he wasn't going to approve it. So when you're reading this, you're gonna read like it was from him personally. And the audio book should be good. I think it's his voice on there. I don't mind listening to him. He's kind of cool. He's kind of a cool guy.
Was just a jerk move, and it wasn't real well coordinated like a human would move. But this other one moved more like a human, the way that she or it moved its arms and touch. When she got a hold of my face, first when I was laying there, she backed up just a little bit. Now, I couldn't see if she was floating or walking or what was going on there. And something came out of the ceiling about the size of a deck of cards. And this thing stopped about a foot above my head. And then it started revolving around my head, and I heard it go click, click, click 4 times. And then it got up in front of my face again and went straight back up into the wall. And that's when she come out and took her hands. And I did notice her fingers was a little longer than, human fingers. And she grabbed me by my cheek and pulled my mouth open, looked up in my mouth, pulled my nose back, looked up in my nose.
Like a monkey.
And then I was starting to get kind of scared then. I was
like a monkey. Anyway, it's a wild case. And he got, regressed? They did a regression hypnosis on him. And he just started spilling the beans. He didn't remember a lot of stuff. But nothing more than what you've heard tonight. Just an interesting fella. Great story. I believe it's 100% legit. And I don't know why Chuck or Charlie, I don't know if he's still alive. I think he died. Oh, yeah, he would have been 120. That's right. Or 100. He would have been 100. Yeah, because he was 20 years older than Calvin. Great story, man. I should, I don't know if I should have him on or whatnot, but it'd be interesting to talk to him. And what else is he going to say we haven't heard? You know, we heard everything. I know it's sad, but it'd be nice to have a record of him.
And this thing just shot up into the air a little bit and made a little zipping noise and left. I mean, it disappeared. So that was the end of what happened.
He said the UFO took off so fast, and, you know, if you blinked, you would have missed it. And we hear that a lot. Very interesting stuff, man. A lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff still going on in the world. You know, I have a problem with abductions. Now, some people think I've been abducted. I've had dreams of it. Several. Not just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know, it's been a lot. Probably 25, 30 dreams, maybe more, of being not me. Having like almost not superpowers, but special. Special. I had special powers. I did. I really did. I was able to hear people. Now, I don't know, like at a great distance. Like if I was at a football game, I could hear you all the way across. I don't know how. I think that comes from growing up with the Wonder Woman and $6 Million Man. I was able to fly, which bothered me because it felt weird. It didn't feel like I had control. Even though I did, I felt like if I went too high, I would lose control and fall and kill myself, because you know how high you could probably fall before you kill yourself. It's just over 2 stories. It's about 35 feet. What? It's 12 foot a story, right? 13? It's about 25 feet. Well, each story is about 13 feet, 12, 13. We'll say 12. 2 stories, 24. You fall 36 feet on concrete, forget about it. You're going to break your legs. You may not, but you're breaking something. I broke myself jumping off a swing. 10 feet, broke my left arm. And I landed in sand, of all things, sideways. But yeah, I was a puss. I was a real skinny kid. Super skinny. Like, you know, one of those kids that looks almost undernourished. I had those knobby knees and those stupid skinny arms. Forget about it. All right. Well, Pascagoula, love you. But now we got to move on to something else. What do you say? Let's get out of here. Now, let's get to a little bit of interesting, and we'll get out of here in about 30 minutes. Maybe less. There's this purple UFO that is huge that I'm going to play for you here. Let me pull it up. Yeah, this is really good. This is from Mr. MBB333. Is it? Or isn't it? Is it? It is? Mr. MBB333? No. Here. It's just a story I found. This just happened. Wait, what's going on? Oh, wait, you gotta look at it. That's right. I forget you can see it now. Here it is. Gets better. Relax. Oh, I don't know what this is. Freaking digital cameras.
Wow.
This is from Ireland. Waterford. That's wicked cool right there. Wicked cool.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Not bad, right? Ah, you bastard. What is that? I was thinking maybe it's a drone. You know, you would see these lights kind of flickering from the fans, from the fan, you know, that propel the blades. I don't know, man. Anybody have any ideas? I mean, could it be a balloon? No, because it's not tilting over, so it's not a balloon. I mean, it's almost too good to be true, yeah? Right? What did I just say? Yeah. That is wild. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 2 this way. These look like light bulbs. 2 that way. And what's this notch? Is a notch there or not? That is bizarre, man. And these look equidistant. This, and this. Then, see, it looks like it could break up, right? Kind of like a pie chart. Here it would break. There. And then one is missing. I wonder if this means anything, like if there's any mathematics involved with this. You can see the line barely there. Another one there. There. Did I miss it? That's hard to see these. There. But the weird thing, it doesn't move weird. You know what I mean? Look at this thing. It's not doing anything. I don't get it. What's inside that it's so black? It's so bizarre. Look, that opened up a little bit. That is so wicked. Wicked. It looks fake, but it's not. You can see the graininess from the video. What a great video. I hope it's real, but it is bizarre how it doesn't move. You never see that. I don't understand it. It just, there's no change in it the rest of the video. I wish you would move back. Ah, thanks. It's definitely in the sky. Anybody have any ideas? Translucent. Thank you, B. Baker. Yeah. I don't know. Will said he saw something similar 5 years ago. I've never seen anything like that. That's really bizarre. I'll show you something later. Bizarre, right? Unbelievable. So we see that. Now that's from Ireland. Now I have the story on it. Let me pull it up. Let me go to my website. Where is it? Oh, the website's missing. Because there's the story with it. I want to get to the story. All right, let's pull it up. Oh yeah, we got Tom DeLonge to talk about. Is this it? Oh, wait until you see this video next I got for you. Hold on. We're on Goof On Network right now. I'm pulling up all the stories I posted because that's what I'm doing every show. Everything that I talk about on the show is going to go on this website, Goof On Network, so you can find it and follow along. I try to get to everything. Some nights I don't do this many, but tonight I'm going through them all. Okay, this is the story. Here it is. A recent video is the Abduction Christine of Waterford, Ireland, shows a very unusually colored and shaped. What we see is a purple colored donut shape with several breaks in circular shape. The object fades in and out of focus. No, they don't talk about it. No, there's no talk about it. Here, I'll go to the story. That's it. This could be anything from an unusual drone to an inflated object. If it was inflated, it would be wobbling back and forth. It stayed static. Or something more sinister. Oh, Satan! Satan's toilet seat. Take a good look. See if you can identify it. I almost feel like they're saying, we know what it is, and you're not going to know. Dun, 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 dun. It's like Bugs Bunny when he kept hitting home runs. Some of you may get that. All right. So now the Nazca donut. Remember this donut, okay? Now we're going to play the Nazca donut. I'm not going to give it away.
Saturday, December 8th,
Hey.
4:30 a.m. Mountain Time, 2018. Guys, in this video, I've got some spectacular sky phenomenon
Let's go
photographs
to
that have
it.
been sent in here in the last Saturday, December 8th, 4:30 a.m. Mountain Time, one of them. We're going to come back to this. Guys, in this video, I've got some spectacular sky phenomenon photographs that have been sent in here.
Now,
in the
some of
last
these I
few
played.
days, some of
We're
them
not
this
going to watch
week,
these again, but
and
these were
this is
cool.
one of them. We're going to come back to this here in a minute. What compelled whoever did that
I want to show you this.
to draw this thing that I discovered. So we'll get back to that here in a minute. But first, here's some of these spectacular sky phenomenon videos and photos that have been sent in
This from here in Arizona, Mesa. People don't understand that when the sun goes down, there could be clouds in the direction and causing these streaks. There could be mountains, buildings, all sorts of things. But then you'll see some things that you can't explain, and that's why I'm showing you this, so watch.
recently. This is from Mesa. This was sent in by Michelle. And we've seen these before, but
hold
not
on.
quite as dark and at such a low angle. Look at that. Unbelievable. And this was a little short video clip that she took and sent in a few pictures as well. And I didn't really do too much to these. These are pretty much as is. And that's what it looked like in the sky from Mesa, Arizona. Good job, Michelle. Here's one of the still photographs, and these are exceptionally wide. You don't normally see these things this wide.
It's just a different height of the clouds. There's nothing sinister going on.
Great observation. This is an excellent observation from Robin up in North Seattle. We've been getting a couple of pictures from, really good pictures from North Seattle, by the way. And this is one of them. Big pink colored stripes in the sky.
So what? Those are contrails or chemtrails.
Yesterday, eye for the sky. Look at that sunrise. Wow.
It's the kind of camera that's being used. It's just the kind of camera. That's all, man. This is distortion. This is what... This is atmosphere early in the morning. Look, it's North Seattle, very humid sky. Oh, but these are separated huge.
Oh, and it went way up into the atmosphere. This one's a little, well, there's actually another row up there. This is like at least a triple decker on the horizon as the sun is rising. It maybe goes up 4 levels. It's hard to tell. But these 3 down here are undeniable. That is a spectacular sunrise. Good job, Zach. Keep them coming, man.
Is he going to tell us what these are?
Photograph.
They're not rainbows. This is cool.
This next little short video clip is from Rhonda out of Georgia. And it's basically a very bright sundog that's piercing the atmosphere, almost like a very bright flashlight. See these every once in a while. They're not super uncommon, but when you see them, you always take a second look, that's for sure, much like this here.
Here we go. Look at this.
Orlando,
I love
Florida.
these.
This was sent in by
These make me
AJ.
laugh.
And we've got that dual sky. Haven't seen this for a while. Almost looks
Dual
like there's
sky.
a curtain that draws a perfect line in the sky,
Stupid.
creating a dark light feature in the upper atmosphere. Kind of cool. See this every once in a while. Saw it a few months back several times, and it looks like we're starting to maybe see it again. That was sent in by AJ from Orlando, Florida. This one here really...
We talked about
made me
this
look
last
twice,
Thursday.
and I did run this one through some filters. Took a
We
look
don't
at
need to
these
watch
holes
this again.
here that do kind of have the same
All right,
sort of
here's the
shape.
donut.
Notice this line.
Remember the purple donut we just saw, right? Don't forget purple donut. Now we're going to go to Nazca and check it out. It's just a weird coincidence that, anyway.
Found near the Nazca lines, and it looks like some sort of a classic flying saucer, but it's on the ground. And not only is there one, there's two, and that's it. Everything else is these really unique lines that you've all probably seen in Nazca. But these here just did not fit in, and there's two, and they're exactly identical.
Does that not look like it? Doesn't that look like it? Look at this, where the light bulbs go. That's the donut we just watched. Tell me it isn't. All right, just tell me it isn't. Tell me it isn't. Look at that thing. Here we go. Remember? Don't make me do this. Remember? Here it is. What do you got to say to yourself? That looks just like it. I mean, except for this, but how can that not be the same thing? It's the same thing. It's very close.
Cool. In size.
Look at it.
And what I've done in this
look at it.
particular instance, I've taken these and ran them through some filters to get a different look at them.
The donut has landed. It's a donut landfill.
Color, but I don't know how it could be, but maybe it does.
What's up, Big Cat?
But they're both perfectly round, 28 feet in diameter.
Now here at Nazca, there's two of these donuts. How come we're discovering these now? Hasn't anybody else discovered these all these decades? Play, will you?
Appear to be sitting on the ground, and you have to ask yourself, what compelled the artist or whoever did this to draw something like this?
It's even broken up. Look at that. You could even see the sections, just like the UFO we just saw.
Shows a little bit of color.
This is bizarre. He's not even bringing it up.
The lighting or something, or the photograph. I don't know. Never seen anything quite like that on the ground.
Not on the
Doesn't
ground?
look like it's any part of a volcano or anything. Unknown origins, the Nazca lines. All right, guys, that's all I got for now. Thanks for watching. Have a super day and be safe out there.
Where is it? There it is. That's the donut. Nah, it's not. But very bizarre. I don't understand how come all these years nobody ever mentioned those at Nazca. Right? Why isn't this working? Nobody ever mentioned those at Nazca. I'm telling you. It's the same thing. It even had these notches in it. In Nazca. Alright, next video coming up. We're almost done. Unbelievable. Where is it? Last one. It's the last video for the night. I don't know why I keep doing shows with all these videos.
6 p.m. Mountain Time, 2018. Guys, I remember back years ago when we were anxiously awaiting the arrival of the first pictures from the Solar Dynamics Observatory. This was back in 2009. I have that linked here at the website. December 15th.
Sorry.
Linked here at the website under the Sun tab. And this is the spacecraft that orbits the Sun with the Earth. Gives us a unique perspective, in fact, many unique perspectives of the Sun. Fantastic instrument. This was put in orbit in 2009. We've been monitoring the Sun with that and a combination of the SOHO LASCO C2 and 3 instrument that has been in orbit around the Sun with the Earth since 1998. Reviewed tons and tons of footage from the SOHO and LASCO C2 and 3. Now, for the first time, the Parker Solar Probe has returned an image from 16 million miles away from the Sun. As I mentioned earlier, the SDO and the LASCO instruments are 93 million miles from the Sun. They orbit the Sun with the Earth. This is a different instrument. It orbits the Sun, and it's getting closer. We're going to take a look at the first photograph returned here in just a minute. But first, the article put out by Parker Solar Probe on December 13th, 2018. Preparing for discovery with NASA's Parker Solar Probe. Weeks after Parker Solar Probe made its closest approach ever to a star. The data from the first solar encounter is just making its way to planet Earth. It's a moment many in the field have been anticipating for years. I know exactly what they're talking about. Thinking about what they'll do with such never-before-seen data, which has the potential to shed new light on the physics of our star, the sun. And this is a look at that very first image. See Mercury here, which is the brightest object in this photograph, this image. I don't know what these dark things are. They're saying down here below, and we're going to take a look at the high-res image here in just a minute. But it says this image from PSP, Parker Solar Probe, instrument shows a coronal streamer. That's this right here. And we see those all the time, even over here on the LASCO C2 instrument. That's a streamer there, but 93 million miles away. Right now we're up really close and going in closer. Goes on to say about the streamer, it's seen over the east limb of the sun, and coronal streamers are structures of solar material within the sun's atmosphere, the corona, that usually overlie regions of increased solar activity. That's true. The fine structure of the streamer is very clear, with at least 2 rays visible, right there and right there. Parker Solar Probe was about 16.9 million miles from the sun's surface when this image was taken. The bright object near the center of the image is Mercury, and the dark spots are a result of background correction. So basically, they're saying that these dark spots are artifacts of some sort. We're going to take a close look as we can go into a high-res look at this image, one of the first images ever returned from this historic, it's actually an unprecedented event, and here it is. And if we look even closer, these things have a common personality. There's a dark dot in the middle and a thin line around that dot.
Doesn't that look familiar? Doesn't it look familiar? That's the donut UFO. That's the donut on the ground. That's the donut near the sun. There's a donut make you frown.
Same. This one's a little different.
Look at this.
Pretty much a straight line going down to Mercury.
Is that Mercury?
Which, looking at this, that looks like something transiting across Mercury's surface, which would indicate typically that that's a moon. But in this case, however, I'm assuming that that's a digital artifact, as we're taught that Mercury has no moon. So unless something new has changed, that is...
Yeah, didn't you hear about the 40 new moons they found?
And then there's some more of these digital artifacts here, here, and these are the ones that I just showed you earlier. And then there's some more up here at the top.
Man, there's a lot of them.
So don't know what those things are. Don't know anything about this spacecraft.
Look, there's one way back here.
First image returned to Earth. We are kind of familiar.
Oh, sorry.
Familiar with some of the artifacts we see from time to time on the SOHO instrument. Like, you're going to see something moving across the bottom. That's a star. And here's another look at SOHO. That's a streamer. You see little things. Those are ions. All kinds of activity going on. But we're familiar with this instrument as we've been using it for over 10 years. But one thing I noticed in this photograph was something up here at the top. And it could be just a semi-invisible labeling technique that they've used, and it looks like an A at the top of this image. Let me zoom back out, and it's not really super noticeable, but it's right up here. In fact, it's right there. But what I did was enhance the photo a little bit. I ran it through some different filters to try and pull that forward a little bit. This is a little video I put together.
He's reaching
here. It
here.
looks like an A up here at the top.
He's reaching.
That's in negative format, just looking at the streamer, Mercury, the different anomalies. There's the A. And that could be something that's just stamped on the image, or it could be something else. I don't know. There's Mercury up close. Looks like a moon transiting across the disk. Pretty sure it's just a glitch.
A glitch? It's a moon.
Look in a blue format. I think this is sci-fi. This is a heat wave image where it enhances the light. And there you can see that A up there at the top. Let me stop it real quick. See the lines up here? I'm going to show you a comparison where I've put outlines around these lines that form what
look at all
like
these
a
lines.
Symmetrical structure. More than likely, it's just a.
But look at all these. Here's a line. I mean, what is he talking about? There's a line. Look at all these little boxes. Here's some more. I mean, there's a letter G. I mean, he's freaking.
Labeling anomaly that probably wasn't supposed to be seen. But anyway, with all the triangles that we've been seen in images from Earth in the proximity of the sun, it didn't surprise me. So that's a little video I put together of different views
I don't know what he's talking
this
about.
Historic image right here. So here are another artifact of labeling this particular photograph, photograph A, because there's clearly
Oh,
an
these
A
are
right
photographs?
there. Or it's
Yeah,
something
I don't
else.
think
I have
so.
no idea. But nevertheless, that's the first image returned to Earth from the Parker Solar Probe, 16 million miles basically from the surface of the sun.
That's crazy.
And what makes this instrument unique is it's orbiting the sun. Yep, here, and you can see the darker areas are coronal holes. Now they're more positioned at the polar regions. Sometimes they will go through the equatorial regions. And those, that energy from the coronal holes, the high-speed wind that's unchallenged by the solar atmosphere, because you can see there's no atmosphere above the coronal hole. So the energy from the surface of the sun departs unchallenged. So that energy does affect the Earth when it comes in contact with the Earth slightly differently than random solar energy that's filtered by the solar atmosphere. So it's a great way to learn. If you want to learn about the sun, it is an excellent, excellent website.
Very good. Very good. Right? No? I don't know. Well, it looks like we're about to get on out of here. We're going to ease on down the road. Yeah. What a weird night, man. You know, I didn't think I'd even be able to talk tonight. It was just one of these nights. It just didn't feel right. I mean, it was a good weekend. It was just weird. Just so many weird... Like, life is weird. Like, you get great news, and then out of nowhere, there's bad news. In my life, that's the way it always is. And I wasn't thinking of any bad news. I was only thinking of good thoughts, good news. And, you know, maybe it's just part of my thinking coming back to keep me in check. I'm not allowed to get that happy. No, I can't get too happy. I've been having some happy, oh, look, I'm doing a Jimmy Church move. I'm picking my beard. What was he doing Thursday, right? Twisting his beard hairs? Like massaging his chin? I can't imagine the cheese puffs that must fill up on his shirt when he's sitting on the couch watching TV. I don't care. Jimmy Church. Welcome to Jimmy Church. Jimmy Church. Jimmy Church. Sorry, not very funny. Sorry, I'm crazy. So I don't know. I think we talked about everything, right? Did I leave anything out? Oh, I'll leave you with this. Here, let me pull this up. As you can see, the stream is ending soon, so just be aware. But I got one more clip I'm going to play. This is funny. All right. This has to do with Christmas. And people who don't want your kids to have Christmas. I talked about it real early I almost said the shift. It's only a few minutes long. Here we go.
Target is candy canes, so I suppose it wasn't quite enough to target Halloween, Columbus Day, and Thanksgiving. Anyway, I'll let Tucker do the honors in introducing this story and then go into more detail about what happened as well as my reaction. Here's Tucker.
An elementary school principal in Nebraska has banned a whole swath of Christmas-related items from his school. That would include Christmas trees, elves, Santa, and red-green color combinations. How about candy canes? Are they allowed? No. They're banned too. Why? Because they're in the shape of a J, which represents Jesus.
All right, so Tucker went on to have a fairly broad discussion with Mark Stein about the left's war on Christmas, but they didn't really discuss this story any further. So I decided to leave out the interview portion for this video because I think the details about this story are worth talking about. So what happened was this principal, Jennifer Sinclair, sent out a memo to her staff at Manchester Elementary in Nebraska, and in it she wrote, "It seems that I have stumbled upon a big rock that I hadn't anticipated. I know that you all are very kind and conscientious people. I know all of the things that you'd like to do, have done, want to do are coming from such a good place, but I come from a place that Christmas and the like are not allowed in schools, as over the years in my educational career, this has evolved into the expectation for all educators. I have unknowingly awoken a sleeping giant with many of you. I apologize for the stress that Christmas, holiday, Grinch, Santa, and tree emails and conversations have caused you, and I will do my best to communicate the expectation from here on out, which aligns with my interpretation of our expectations as a public school who seeks to be inclusive and culturally sensitive to all of our students. I'll start with what was communicated to the Manchester staff last year. It remains the expectation. And so then she provides a link to the school district's official rules, which mandate that there be a secular purpose for all activities and instruction. And so, for example, with respect to religious holidays, it says, religious symbols such as crosses, creches, or menorahs may be used as teaching aids in the classroom, provided that the symbols are displayed as an example of the cultural and/or religious heritage of the holiday and are temporary in nature. If put on a bulletin board, religious symbols may be viewed as promoting a certain religious perspective. And then it goes on to clarify that Christmas trees, Santa Claus, and Easter eggs and bunnies are considered to be secular seasonal symbols and may be displayed as teaching aids, provided they do not disrupt the instructional program for students. Okay, so fair enough, right? I read through this whole document, and in my opinion, for a public school district, everything in these guidelines was perfectly reasonable and unambiguous. But for whatever reason, Principal Sinclair decided she needed to add to this with her own set of unreasonable and ultra PC guidelines, so here's her improved version for the teachers. I feel uncomfortable that I have to get this specific, but for everyone's comfort, I will. Acceptable practices. Gifts to students, students making a gift for a loved one, snowmen, snow women, snow people, and snowflakes, gingerbread people, holidays around the world, different cultures, sledding, hot chocolate, polar bears, penguins, scarves, boots, earmuffs, and hats, Yetis, and Olaf from Frozen, I guess. I haven't seen the movie. Not acceptable. First thing on the list, Santa's or Christmas items. So apparently the principal didn't read the official guidelines from the district, or maybe she did and forgot, because they clearly stated that Santa was okay, as I read earlier. Anyway, also banned are Christmas trees in classrooms, elf on the shelf, singing Christmas carols, playing Christmas music, sending a scholastic book that is a Christmas book, making a Christmas ornament as a gift, because this assumes that the family has a Christmas tree, which assumes that they celebrate Christmas, and Principal Sinclair challenges the thought of, well, they can just hang it somewhere else. Of course she does. And here's the one that grabbed the headlines, candy cane, because historically the shape is a J for Jesus, the red is for the blood of Christ, and the white is a symbol of his resurrection. This would also include different colored candy canes, presumably because of the J, I suppose. And then finally, red-green items, which are traditional Christmas colors, reindeer, and Christmas videos, movies, and or characters from Christmas movies. And then she signs it, The Unintentional Grinch Who Stole Christmas, from Manchester, indeed. So obviously this is a load of BS to any rational human being, I would hope, and thankfully the school district agrees with me here, and they did handle this embarrassment appropriately and swiftly. So here is a summary of their response. This is from a local news station in Omaha.
Omaha!
Hayden's right side.
Omaha!
The principal of Manchester Elementary in Elkhorn is on administrative leave after sending a directive to staff to ban certain religious Christmas decorations in the classrooms. District spokesperson Kara Pershel said Jennifer Sinclair is a new principal and did not consult with administrators about school policy concerning the handling of religious holiday themes. The organization Liberty Council got wind of the principal's memo and sent a demand letter to the superintendent of Elkhorn Public Schools asking the district to lift the Christmas ban, which they did. Here's their official statement to the press. Elkhorn Public Schools District Administration promptly addressed the issue at Manchester Elementary School regarding the memo that was sent by the principal to Manchester Elementary staff. The memo does not reflect the policy of Elkhorn Public Schools regarding holiday symbols in the school. The district has since clarified expectations and provided further direction to staff in alignment with district policy. This issue was limited to Manchester Elementary School and did not arise at any other schools within the district. Okay, so good and correct response there, but as you might expect, many parents were justifiably upset and concerned about this whole episode, so this is what one parent, Jenny Myers, had to say. If a school's going to be able to eliminate everything about Christmas, it may not stop there. And if a principal is going to make such a drastic policy as that, I would think that it would be good for the parents to be aware of a policy that was being made of completely taking Christmas out of a school. So fair enough, right? I mean, I don't know what experiences Principal Sinclair has had in her career that made her think this was a reasonable action, but in her defense, she did send out an apology email to the parents, although I did find it to be somewhat ambiguous. Here's what she wrote. Last week, in an attempt to provide clarity, I mistakenly sent out an internal staff memo detailing what can and cannot be done in a public school surrounding the holiday season. I wanted to reach out and make sure our families understand what occurred and what has been done to correct the issue. I understand that the information I initially provided was incorrect, and I sincerely apologize for any confusion or concern this has caused and the negative attention this brings to the district and Manchester. Alright, so here's my closing take on this. First of all, I'm not a Christian, and I wasn't raised in a Christian home, but regardless, I've always loved Christmas, and thankfully my parents enjoyed it as well, and we were always happy to participate with fellow Americans in the Christmas holiday culture. So, you know, we would get a Christmas tree and presents and all of that, and for whatever reason, my dad was really into competing with our neighbors for the best decorations, and you know, it was good fun. And I understand that I'm only really embracing the consumerism aspect of Christmas that's been built on top of the religious foundation, but so what? You know, it's awesome. Personally, I think it's great that we have a dedicated time of the year to be cheerful and generous and light up our homes, our streets, and public squares, and just enjoy this spirited tradition without finding some way to get offended, especially at the grade school level. I mean, hopefully you guys will agree with me that these elementary school kids in Nebraska are a long ways away from becoming seasoned progressive snowflakes. God forbid. They're not looking to be offended by Christmas, and it's only when idiotic adults teach them that they're supposed to be offended that it gets into their head. So I'm glad that the school district handled this correctly, and I hope that Principal Sinclair genuinely realizes why she was wrong here and doesn't just say whatever she needs to say to get her job back. Anyway, that's just my opinion, but let me know what you guys think about this in the comments, and as always, support the channel if you can. The links are below, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Merry Christmas.
What can you say, really? Schumer's hunched, literally just like hunchback Schumer, hunched over, grabbing his wrist, uncomfortable.
Yeah, so weird. It wouldn't stop no matter what I did. Oh, shit. Well, that's it for tonight, man. Let's get back here. So thanks for hanging out. Man, my throat's hurting really bad, like bizarrely bad, just out of nowhere. Hurts like I have like strep throat or something, like bad. Anyway, hopefully I'll be here Thursday. Hopefully you'll join me, and we'll have another show for you Thursday. So Goof on Radio, I'm Rich Giordano, and I hope you guys have a good week. I know I will. What are you guys doing? You working? Got family coming out for Christmas? Anyone? Anyone got family? Anybody have family? Do you guys have family? Anybody have family out there? Who's got family? You got family? Nah, nobody's got family. Really? You got family? What is this? Hold on. Hold on, I found some.
Hey, what's up, guys? Tyler here with...
Hey, what's up, guys? What's up, guys? I don't know what it is about her. She just gets on my nerves. Big time. I don't know. Can't explain it. I was going to play that, but let's try this. I don't know if I can get out of here with some of these songs. Nope. I can't play any of these. They're all bad. Hold on. I'm going to find one here. Why not? Let's get out of here with some music. My throat is killing me. I don't know what happened. It's bad. It feels like somebody's choking me. You know what I mean? Do you know what that feels like? Like when if you ever been choked, it feels like somebody's fingers are jabbing into my my esophagi. Yeah, no, it does. No joke. It hurts like hell when I talk. It just started. Very bizarre. Oh, wait a second. I wanted to show you something. See, I can't remember. Oh, that's right. We were going to talk about impossible airplane shadows. Next show. Stupid people seeing these shadows. Shadows from airplanes. Right? And they're telling us that these shadows shouldn't be there. It's so stupid. They're just planes, man. Going through shadows. That's it. Going through the sky with clouds, and they're reflecting off the clouds. Shadow. And they're saying that there's shadows on the side, shadows behind it. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. All right, we're going to get out of here with this then. Right? What is going on? All right, I'm about to hurt myself. It's always something new. Just when you think you've seen it all, then they come out with this. I mean, I never thought in a million years that would even be a thing. Shadows on clouds from airplanes. I give up. Maybe I will never do a show again. It'd probably just the same. Nobody would really care. Right? Nobody would care. Let's see if this works. See you guys later. Adios, everybody. Goof on Radio out. Have a great week, and I will see you Thursday, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. Goof on Radio live on YouTube. And don't forget to see me on Twitter under Goof On Network, and visit Goof On Network, goofon.org, and goofon.net. I'm Rich Giordano. Have a good night. Yeah. Yeah. I like this part coming up. Can't turn it up anymore. Go, here we go. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh. I hit my head. I'm Rich Giordano, everybody. Glad you hung out with me tonight on Goof On Radio on YouTube. A lot of fun. I hope to see you back here on Thursday, and we're going to be passing over the Grand Canyon right now, so everybody relax. Have yourself a root beer float, or maybe just a little bit of love. I'm Rich Giordano. Tonight was a great night, I'd have to say so. Yeah! Let's get out of here. Come on now. I don't know what I'm doing holding this. There's nothing wrong with copyright-free music, man. That was awesome. I love that song. Uh-oh.